Hey folks, welcome to my Hoka Clifton 7 shoe review. It's a great shoe, I have to say. It really does live up to the name. I've heard a lot about the Clifton range of shoes, and this is the 7th iteration of the range, and I have to say, very happy. Well, this is my first impressions, so we'll speak about what I feel is good about the shoe and what is bad. Okay, let's get on with the review. Okay, so the good. So there's many good things about this shoe. This is the 7th iteration. So to give you a bit of context, the first iteration was known for its lightweight structure. It was under 8 ounces. It was a very speedy shoe. It was great for long distance training, for daily training, and for also suitable for marathon training or marathon distance. This, however, is a bit different to the first, and obviously it's gone through many iterations to get to this point. This is a heavier shoe. It's 9 ounces, still lightweight, considering other shoes can be a lot heavier than this. So it's good mainly for daily training. I wouldn't use it for anything longer than half marathon distance. Even using this shoe in a half marathon, I just wouldn't, because it just doesn't have that edge like some other trainers have. But anyway, the good is lightweight, as I said. It gives you great bounce. It has that rocker feeling. It's a Meta rocker technology that a lot of Hoka trainers have, which you feel like you propel forward when you run. It's very cushioned. There's hardly any ground contact, so when you're running you don't feel the harshness of the ground, which is a great thing. Some people don't like that. Some people like feeling the ground when they run, but me personally, I don't mind it. But you know, this shoe certainly don't feel anything with it. So it's a positive point, mostly. The upper is great, very lightweight. There's no issues there with the toe box. It feels very spacious, but yet tied down to your shoe or your foot. And overall, it keeps what has given Hoka the edge in the past few years. It keeps that feel of Hoka's, that lightweight, bouncy, cushioned feel. And just strictly speaking of the bad point here is that I think personally it doesn't have that energy like other shoes have. Now again, it's a daily trainer, so just be reminded that it's not meant for speed training, nothing like that. But it doesn't have that energy return that you'd sometimes feel with other trainers, such as the Nike Pegasus 37. But no, first impression so far, very good. Now let's get on to the upper structure of the shoe. Okay, so moving on to my synopsis, we're on to the upper. So the upper consists of an engineered mesh upper. It's very lightweight, it's very breathable. The toe box is very spacious, yet it ties in your foot overall, the upper. So even though the toe box is spacious, you still have a very great lockdown feel when you run. It's a great thing, and it's actually helped greatly by this heel tab here. You know, helps your foot slip in and retains, you know, the overall structure. And when you run, you feel like you feel like you're one with the shoe, which is great. And it's definitely an improvement on a lot of daily trainers. And I heard it's an improvement on as well from the Clifton 6. I never had the Clifton 6, but I did hear bad things about the overall kind of the upper on that. That's why it changed for this iteration. Yeah, so the upper is great. You know, I have no really issues with that. And so, with that being said, let's move on then to the midsole and the outsole of the shoe. Okay, so the midsole and the outsole, like the Clifton 6, it retains the EVA midsole foam. And that's what you see here mostly, this big load of foam. Now, with Hoka shoes, they're known as cushion shoes. So really, when you're running, all you feel is cushion. So it gives you that really plushy effect, which is great. But some people hate that as well. I'm a mixture of both. So it depends on how I feel on the day. For racing, for marathons for instance, or half marathons, I like a very grounded shoe. So a very non-plushy shoe, if that makes any sense. So I wouldn't be using Hokas basically for those competitions or for those runs, or races should I say. But for daily trainers, perfect. And I'd happily use this every single day. And even though this is the first impressions, I've ran 6-7 times in the shoe, small distances, but I can definitely say that I'll be using this a lot more as time goes on. So yeah, so getting back to the EVA cushioning, so it gives you a very good, a good toe off as well when you do run, so a very good bounce. And it's structured very well, so when you run, that's how to explain this, you feel like you're supported. So you don't feel any ground interaction, you just feel like you're basically running on clouds. And this is just due to the EVA cushioning here. And it does help protect your feet against any of those, those issues that you would get usually with very, very minimalist shoes. And this certainly, it feels great, and it feels, you feel protected, you feel very cushioned, and overall it's a great ride. And I could run 5, 6, 8 miles in this, and my feet would feel perfect afterwards. Whereas sometimes with the shoes you might feel a bit battered because of the constant ground pounding basically. But yeah, so overall very happy with the midsole, and the outsole here as well. You see there is a lot of EVA foam, and there's some rubber here as well, just here at the top and the bottom. And this is obviously for grip, and I'm a stickler for grip with shoes usually, especially in Ireland where it gets very wet and gets very slippery on the best of occasions. So having rubber as well here does help that grip immensely, and with this shoe, perfect, no complaints. So great, and let's move on to the overall look of the shoe, the style factor. Okay, so now the style factor. So personally, I think this would be one of my favourite looking shoes. Now this isn't the original colour, this is just a different colourway that I picked. It's white, blue, gold, it's beautiful. I mean honestly, now, okay, with that being said, I wouldn't wear this out normally. No issues against people that would, but with me personally, I'd like a more subtle shoe to wear out to the shops or what have you. But when I'm running, this certainly brings the style. Now people might like the look of the shoe, but I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It does look a bit odd, but obviously with Hoka, they look, Hoka shoes generally look a bit kind of big and over-proportioned. But with that being said, I think it's overall a beautiful looking shoe. And I have a lot of shoes, I mean, too many to count, but this one would certainly catch my eye when I'm picking out what I want to run in, on a normal day. I'd be like, oh, this looks good. So the only setback with this though is that it being white, it does get dirty very easily. So I haven't ran much in this, as this is a first impressions review, but especially on those dirty days and those mucky days in Ireland, I'm afraid this is going to get destroyed, and it will, because it has that creamy white colour which just attracts mud. But overall, I mean, I try to bring it out on nice dry days and keep it maintained and keep looking nice. But yeah, overall, I think, fashion wise or style wise, it really hits every mark for me, and it's a perfect shoe for my collection. Okay, so the price point. Now, this isn't a cheap shoe. It'll set you back in Ireland €140, anywhere from €110 to €140, which is expensive for a daily trainer. I mean, is it worth it? In my opinion, yes. If you're dedicated to running, if you run, you know, a number of races during the year, and you like getting 20 to 30 to 40 to, you know, 40 plus miles in a week of running, then definitely this would be a great addition to your daily training. But with that being said, if you're just a casual runner and you just rely on one shoe, then maybe I wouldn't pick this shoe if you're in any way on a budget. It would definitely last you, but the thing is that you can get great shoes for under €100 now. With this being over €140 or being €140, it's expensive, and you know, definitely is worth it for me, but for others it mightn't be. But overall I'm happy with it. I mean, Hoka shoes, you know, they've never been cheap, so I expected this to be a bit pricey. And for the price point, yes, it is pricey, especially because it's a daily trainer. It's not a specialised marathon runner or whatever. It has no steel plate, for instance, no carbon fibre plate. You know, it's just your normal run-the-mill daily trainer. A great daily trainer, but still a daily trainer. So yes, it's expensive, but look, I think it's worth it, and I would spend another €140 on this type of shoe. Okay, so that was my impressions of the Hoka Clifton 7, a great shoe overall, very happy with it. I would give this a 9 out of 10. Right, so guys, if you like that, please hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like to. I have plenty more content on my channel and more content to come, so do check it out if you want to, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in.